I've been handing out gift cards to my patients that smoke, and I've been really a big advocate for smoking. This month I have an article coming out in the Women's Journal about, and this is really directed to people that do not smoke and do not vape, called Do You Have a Loved One Who Smokes? And it talks about this article and how that's better. My most recent article that I wrote is entitled But what about the teens? But what about the children, teen vaping and e-cigarettes, and talking about how the opposition to vaping, because we need to save the children, is really just a bunch of horseshit. Okay.
Yeah.
And I kind of dig into the numbers. I dig into the research, and one of the things that I found out about that is that there's one of the big polls that they do is called Monitoring the Future, where they have a questionnaire for all high school and middle school students. And what they found was, when you really dig into the numbers, there's this big rise in e-cigarettes use for these kids. But if you really dig into the numbers, one of the things that they're saying is that 65% of the kids actually vape no nicotine. Okay, so they're just vaping flavors. Okay. And so to call vape no nicotine, no flavors, and deeming it a tobacco product, which the FDA has done, okay, is just ridiculous to me. And I think that we're just really heading off we're heading down a wrong path. Now, I'm just kind of curious about who here, before they started vaping, smoked? Raise your hands, please.
Hold on. Leave them up.
If anybody's taking
Leave them
questions
up
of this,
one
I
more
want you to
time.
kind of just take it over here, okay?
Just lift your hands up, guys.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So this is why I'm doing this, okay? Because I want people not to smoke, okay? 50% of the people that smoke, their lives are going to be cut short from their smoking. On average, if you smoke for any length of time, for a period of time, your life is going to be cut down about 10 years. Okay? Yeah. So that's why I'm doing this. And so when I looked at this and did some research about this, and they're saying that it's 95 to 98 to 99% safer. You're taking away the cancers, you're taking away the emphysema, you're taking away all these things that are cutting people's lives short, okay, and replacing with vaping. I'm like, duh, hello, why are we doing that? So one of the things that's happening right now is, I don't know how many of you are aware of that, but the FDA was given control over e-cigarettes and vaping, okay? And just recently, beginning of last month, they put their final report of how they're going to be regulating vaping and e-cigarettes. Anybody here aware of this, the FDA deeming, okay?
Yeah.
And so one of the things that basically, when people started looking at what these regulations say and what they're doing, basically 2.5 years from now, all of this will be gone. As things stand now, all of this will be gone. There's not going to be any juice, there's not going to be open mods, there's not going to be build your own, okay? All of this is going to be gone, okay? Now, there's two separate groups, I think, within the vaping community. There's people that are part of a lifestyle thing, enjoying the competitions, enjoying the clouds, whatever. And then there's these people that just are, switching over from smoking, and they just kind of do it in their own home and that kind of stuff. Okay, and this is going to change huge. And the question is, what do we need to do as an organization, as a group, to make sure that we can turn this around, okay? There are some people that are out there with litigations. There are some
Lobbyists.
What's that?
Lobbyists.
There's some lobbyists, there's some legislations so the best legislation right now that has a chance to go through, okay, will basically, at the end of, basically on August 8th, anything that is on the market, August 8th, gets grandfathered in. okay? Beyond that, no new products, no new mods, no new tanks, no new juices are allowed in. That's the best case scenario that we have right now to save what we have right now, okay? Now, question for you guys, who here has called their representative? Awesome, how many? Okay, so I'm seeing about like half to 2/3 of you guys that have called your representatives, okay? And so it's kind of, one of the things is that we need to get everybody to do that and to do it to multiple times. Has anybody visited your representative's office?
No.
I got one hand in the back here, okay? I have. I've actually gone to your representative's office, okay? I didn't talk to him, but I talked to his, it's more like community liaison, the person that's there behind the counter to interact with the public. But I made a connection. I'm starting to work on that, okay? And when I say that, I really do believe that it's possible to make a change with this. I really, really do believe that. One of the things that I did last Wednesday is I went to a bunch of different offices. I did meet with one of the representatives for Sherrod Brown. Sherrod Brown is our senator. He is one of the most vocal opponents of e-cigarettes and vaping. He wants it gone. He wants it out of there, okay? And one of the things that he believes, and I believe he believes it to his core, that e-cigarettes and vaping is a way to get kids addicted to nicotine and will then transfer into smoke, okay? And we know that that's not true, and actually with my last article, if you look at the data is not there, okay? But it's still his own personal belief, and that's where he's coming from. There's another piece of it where he does get some money from big pharma, okay? No, that's not tobacco, all right? But most big pharma, okay? So they're in a competition with one of the things that they're losing out on is the Nicorette patches and the gums and things of that nature, okay?
Chemotherapy.
Yeah, that too.
Right? Yeah. I mean, that's a part of it, okay? So
Well, not only that, like also like this does help people that have asthma. So they're losing out on money on that too.
Right,
So,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
they're
It's not
losing
just-
out money just for like it does help like just not like some diseases, but it does help a lot too. Like,
and there's research out there, and there's
Right.
studies
Yeah.
coming out that people
Right.
switch from that with asthma that smoke and they switch over, and it's like all of a sudden they're doing so much better. Gee, imagine that, okay? So one of the things that I want to encourage people is to actually go into these offices and meet with people. Tell them your story. But then also bring information, maybe bring an article about asthma.
Exactly.
Just do Google about the benefits of it. There's so much stuff out there. And that's part of the reason why I'm really hopeful is because the data is out there, the science is out there, and there's people that are seeing it and disseminating it, okay? And I think that a combination of a personal story, a personal example, with this whole idea that it's better for us whole as a society,
Exactly.
that I think that we have some hope with that, okay?
And I just want everybody to know that Michael is very unbiased because he does not vape and he does not smoke. So I mean, for him to take his time and come out here and give us some information, I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, okay. So I have some articles here, most recent articles for the other thing that I want to think about is how many people here are a member of CASAB?
Me?
Okay, so we have maybe like a quarter to a third, maybe, okay?
If you guys don't know what CASA is, up at the desk, we do have some information about how to get on their website and what they're about. Also, if you guys ever come to the shop and you guys want to spend some time learning a little bit more, he actually left one of these booklets here at the shop, so you guys, it's for everybody. If you guys want to come out and learn a little bit of education about nicotine and all this, like what's good and what's bad, this is going to like help you guys out too.
So,
Another thing, another thing, for every call that everybody gets, actually your call does really count, because for every call that everybody gets, it actually equivalates to 100 constituents. So your call is for 100 people. So
for 100 letters.
For 100 letters.
100
That's
of those
just
form
one
letters?
phone call. That's
Yeah.
all you guys really need to do is pick up the phone, kind of have an ideal what are you guys gonna say, just not like something random. Kind of tell them who you are, that you guys vote, that you guys are well, we're all citizens, you know, and that you guys want your voice to be heard. So tell them your story. Tell them how this has actually helped you or has helped one of your loved ones or some of your loved ones. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have mothers and fathers, and probably some of them vape. So, you know, do your part, and I'm pretty sure that the people that are out there working and helping us, they're going to do their part too.
Be polite.
Yes.
Don't call them assholes.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, because that's just going to be like, okay, Mark, that's going to take like $500 off the valley. So.
One of the things that is as a idea of a tactic to use is to appeal to these individuals if they have family members who smoke, okay? They know what the danger is of smoking. And they know that they've tried their family members to help them to quit smoking, but they haven't, okay? And so that's another way to get in, is to listen to their own, you know, these are the front office people, whatever, in these congressional offices, you know, to talk about their loved ones who smoke, okay? And how this would be much better for them, okay? The other thing is I really want you guys to talk to your doctors about it. I would actually recommend, if you go to the website, the Royal College of Physicians website, you can download this. Okay, I just took this, put it on a little USB drive, took it into Kinko's, and had it printed off. Take one of these to your medical doctors. We need to change change people's ideas, change people's perceptions of it. Okay. How many people here, especially the older people, how many people here you go into your doctor and you say, you know, and they do an exam and they say, wow, this has really improved since I saw you last. People have that? Yeah. What's happened for you?
Definitely breathe a whole lot better.
Yeah.
And I was 38 years smoker.
Right on.
Smoked since I was 12 years old.
Right.
Marlboro Reds.
Marlboro Reds, right. So with the Deemings, Marlboro Reds. Marlboro Reds is the choice of kids. 2/3 of all kids that smoke Marlboro Reds, okay? The other third is divided up between Newports and Camels. And like 5% is everything else, okay? And guess what? With the deeming regulations, guess what stays on the marketplace? All right? Camel Reds. Camel Reds win, okay? So I'm really encouraging you guys to start getting active, make some phone calls. I would actually, you know, love to see like a CASA organization, local organization here in Lake County, where people are educating other people, encourage people to switch over to
Josh is working on that actually, just to let you know.
That's awesome. Okay. Okay. So you know, start an organization, local organization with that. All right. Any questions for me at all? All right, so I have a question for you guys. Anybody here are dual users? Smoke cigarettes and vape? Here, okay. Okay, a few guys, okay. And I'm going to ask you some questions about that, okay? Is that all right? How long have you been vaping?
About a year.
About a year, okay. And how much cigarettes do you do?
I quit before, and then I had to go to the hospital, so I started smoking when I was in the hospital.
Why did you start smoking when you went into the hospital, if you don't mind me asking?
I know, this probably makes me sound a little bit crazy, but I went to Laurelwood.
Okay.
So they don't allow vaping there, they only allow smoking cigarettes.
That is so fucked up.
Yeah, the workers can vape. I'd see techs and nurses go out vaping, but the patients weren't allowed to, so I'm only on 3 nicotine. I had no way of getting nicotine, and I was already in there for anxiety and depression. So I started smoking there again, and now I'm trying to quit again. It's a lot harder than I was expecting it to be. But usually but firsthand, I would usually smoke about half a pack a day when I was smoking regularly. Now it's at 1 or 2 cigarettes a day. I'm trying to cut it to be nothing again. But being forced to have no other option than having just cigarettes, no vaping,
Okay.
made it very easy for me to want to go back to smoking. So I could see how if something like this went to action and the FDA did not approve of vaping, I could see myself going back to smoking.
Okay.
Same.
Okay. Okay. So taking a step backwards, you know, these assholes there, they need a copy of this, okay?
Yeah.
They need a copy of that, okay? So that's number one. Number two, there's also some articles out there that talk about in the UK that they're actually having hospitals allowing their patients to vape, and talking about how, well, you know, it's just so much better for them, and that way they can get their nicotine fix and all that kind of stuff. And so we're going to promote that. So, you know, just a rational policy with that. Okay. The next thing is has anybody been in that kind of a situation where you were having trouble that were succeeded into getting off of smokes and being able to vape, but you were having a hard time for a period of time? Anybody else here had that?
Yeah.
What was the solution for you?
Well, the solution for me was actually getting a higher end device and a good tank.
Okay. It looks like she's got one.
I was doing the cheap shit.
Right.
And my dad was trying to get me to do it, and the stuff that he was using, it was nicotine-based flavors, or tobacco
flavors, sure.
And that just wasn't cutting. I was still wanting a cigarette. But once I got a better device and a good tank and wasn't vaping tobacco flavors and found out, well, hey, you know, I actually went to somewhat of a vape shop. It's more of a head shop.
Right.
And I got some decent
Some
juice.
taste.
And I got it in September. By a week or two before Thanksgiving, I was done with cigarettes altogether.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Cool. So she obviously has like a really decent tank. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that looks like you have a decent setup there, right?
Yeah.
So what would you give her an advice? Would you give her some advice on what to try next?
Well, I know her, and she knows that exactly what I do, and so's her boyfriend. So she's got everybody's in her corner to help her get it off.
Okay.
Finding a good flavor that you crave all day
Yeah.
is key.
Flavor, right? Flavors are
These
bad for
Emoze?
you, right?
That is the shit.
What one?
Mimosa.
Yeah.
Cleveland Steamers.
That's hilarious. Now, would people recommend that she have like a higher nicotine amount?
If you just quit smoking on a 3, I would say, people with good devices, I usually start them if they just stop smoking at 6.
6?
So
Okay. So what are you vaping right now?
A 3. When I
3.
first quit,
Okay.
I was on a 3, and then I've just
Take it up to a 6, and maybe that will help you cut it.
Maybe try out a 6 for a little bit, or even just like when you get like those urges for a cigarette, just push it off as hard as you possibly can, and just grab that vape and just keep going on your vape. Yeah, you know what I mean?
What's that?
As hard as you
Speak
can.
up.
I've been vaping just now for 4 years.
Yeah.
I drove truck over the road for 13.
Okay.
4 packs a day.
Oh.
4.
Somebody
Well, when
recording
you
this?
drive 900 miles a day, you have nothing better. You're by yourself in solidarity. You got to occupy it.
Yeah.
You can ask Josh or Lulu right now.
Yeah.
There's not a moment that I don't have some kind of device in my hand at all times. Because that's what it was, just to have that cigarette.
Yeah. It gets mighty boring sitting in that seat, because I drive truck too.
Yeah.
It gets mighty damn boring when you're putting that kind of miles down.
But to come down from smoking a cigarette, you know the cigarette's a higher nicotine. Well, I'm at 0 milligram right now. I'm just a flavor guy, straight off flavor.
That's awesome.
After smoking cigarettes for damn near. Plus, I have a heart condition. I'm 44 years old. I have a defibrillator in right now, guys.
Whoa.
So, vaping has saved my world big time. I'm all about keeping it. Let's do what we got to do.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Fight for what we got. It's a good community. I don't even know half the people in here, but This is a big ass vapor family to me. Thank you guys for doing what you do.
Yeah?
Yes, I would like to share as well with me.
I think you're gonna need this.
Oh, no, they found me, never mind.
Nice.
Alright, so another thing that I've noticed with me and a couple of friends of mine, a lot of us, do any of you perchance or have a loved one who struggles with depression, anxiety, anything like that? Yep, same here.
You know I do.
I know. But what I've noticed, well, when I first started smoking, I was really bad into, oh gosh, people are gonna think I'm crazy. I was big into self-harm. From the age of, I wanna say, around 13, straight up until 19, my best friend, I guess you could say, was a blade. And then I started smoking to get rid of that, and I realized just how bad I fucked up. And what I noticed was, when I was younger, I had asthma, right? And it was gone for a while. Once I started smoking, it was hard for me to breathe. Occasionally, my boyfriend has even witnessed, I'll start wheezing out of nowhere again if I'm even around the smell of it, or anything like that. I just recently quit for a second time. I've noticed ever since I started vaping, I'm able to breathe better, I'm able to feel better. I don't want a cigarette as badly as I used to. If I ever do want a cigarette, I go from 0 straight to a 3 or to a 6 whenever I get that really bad craving. But otherwise, I believe that vaping will actually help end the usage of cigarette smoking. And for people with depression and things like that who use cigarettes as kind of a safety net, you could say, what they're really doing is, what they're really doing is pretty much, yeah, it's a safety net, but it's not one you're going to want to fall into because it's really faulty. Like, you're going to want that safety net, but let me tell you, you're going to fall straight through it. Cigarette smoking is only going to cut your life even shorter. Take it from me. So, that's all I really have to say.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. So basically, I'm here for people to quit smoking, and I don't know what your name is. I don't know what your name is. Age. It seems like there's a lot of people here that care, and whatever support that they can do to help you make that transition back off of the cigarettes would be awesome. Okay. And anybody else that's in that situation, really use your peers as a resource. Okay, talk to people. Talk to some, this guy's doing like 4 packs a day. Use you guys, each other as a resource, and that's kind of my vision of what CASAC, a local CASAC chapter could be, is to help not only be an advocate, but also to be a organization, a group of people that can actually help new vapors transition away from smoking. All right. One other thing to consider is that the addictive part in cigarettes is also part of that combustion that happens, all right? And there's other chemicals that people really get addicted to with that combustion with the nicotine. And that's only found in real tobacco products. So one of the benefits of vaping is that, it's very similar. You're breathing in this thing. There's this throat hit type of a thing that happens, and
Nicotine
you're
rush.
getting that nicotine rush that's pretty quick, okay? But at the same time, there's this other piece that is missing for some people, and that comes from a regular tobacco product, and something to consider. One of the things that happened in Europe, in Sweden, is that in the 80s they started making this tobacco product called snus, where it's a type of processed tobacco that you put in the upper lip, and you don't spit like chewing tobacco, but they were able, and they made this educational thing that there isn't any combustion, there isn't any smoke, and that type of stuff, and the rest of the European Union completely banned these products, okay? And what happened, these many years later, well, guess what? Sweden has the least amount. They have half the long-term effects of smoking, okay? The deaths and cancers and all that kind of stuff from smoking that any of the other countries in the European Union has, okay? And it's because of this switching over to the snus. And snus are available in the United States, okay? And so that's something else that you may want to take a look at and do some research about, like maybe having like a snus I might be pronouncing it wrong, so, snus, thank you. I'm so ignorant. I'm so ignorant. So you may want to do some research on snus and see if that's something that might be, an option for you, okay? Thank you so much for your attention. Lulu's handing out some of my articles. Hand it out to people. One of the things about vaping is that you guys don't have a good presence among people that are non-smokers and non-vapers, okay? And it's been like a kind of like a head against the wall with some of my patients to kind of convince them that their loved ones would be better served switching over to electronic cigarettes than to continue smoking. Go ahead.
If you guys know a vapor shop that you guys go to, like in your guys' neck of the woods, make copies of those papers and take it to them so they can have them at their shop too.
Cool. All right. So anyway, that's it. Cool. Thank you. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you, sir. Also, all that information can be found on Safan Kasal's website. They link to a lot of the medical studies that are going on and such. With that said, let's fucking get this started right now. So we got the judges. Are you guys seated where you want to be seated? Everybody else in the building that's in between those judges and this giant cloud wall needs to either go to the front or the back of the show. And I'm going to need some names.
Flex. What's your Instagram?
Flex72. FLEXX72.
First off, judges, are we doing twos or boxes first? Box mods. First two names. Jake and Jeff are the first two up. They're going to be able to come up to, where's Lulu? Where are we going to do the twos?
I have let him hand to the car with her and I was talking to her about it. She's like, can I get yours?